All right, we're gonna do a full body, just kind of general stretch flow today. So adjust things as you need to, and if there's certain things that you want to do longer, you can always pause the video and do it for longer. But we're gonna actually start in standing, and we're gonna do some hamstring curls, but we're gonna do it like a little bit quicker to get a little cardio, and you can squeeze your shoulder blades down and back as your arms go back. So trying to keep your thighs fairly far back too to get a good contraction in your hamstrings and your glutes, and then squeezing your shoulder blades down and back. And of course breathing. Breathing's always good. I feel like we're gonna jazzercise here. And then if you want to like slow it down and do more balance, that's also an option. Okay, let's just do a couple more of those. All right, and now we're gonna go into a squat, and you go as low as it feels like your body can handle. Try to get your booty back like you're gonna sit on something. Don't let your knees knock together. And then as we go up, we're gonna reach up and then down and up and down. And when you reach up with your arms, try to not just let your shoulders shrug up. Try to still keep, you don't have to be squeezing down and back with your shoulder blades, but you should kind of keep them in more of a neutral. Don't let your shoulders go up towards your ears. And breathe. Inhale down, exhale up. And you can go at like whatever breathing pace feels good to you as well. Also try to bring your belly button towards your spine to get your core involved. And hopefully you're feeling your blood flowing and everything warming up. And if you need to go more to like mini squats, that's okay. Okay, and now we're gonna switch to lunges. So just pick a side to start with, and we're gonna go down and up. On the up, you're gonna breathe out, and if you can, try to add a little bit of a kegel into it. If that's too confusing, then don't worry about it. Breathe in, breathe out. And you can make these just mini lunges, or you can go all the way. You could touch the floor, just hover above it. Breathe in, breathe out. And make sure that you're using good posture up here. If your head is forward at all, tuck your chin backwards. And I'm not good at counting, but starting to feel a good burn, so we'll switch in a couple. All right, let's go ahead and switch to the other side. If you need to kind of go up and down on your toes a little bit and reset. And then same thing over here. Breathe in on down, out on up. And if you're comfortable to try to do a kegel with your pelvic floor, then go for it. If that's too much, then just focus on your breathing, and your body is naturally going to do some of that for you. Belly button to spine if you can, and using good posture up here. One more. Breathe out. Okay. Now let's go ahead and stretch a little bit. So I'm going to go back to the opposite side and stretch the back of my calf here. And with my upper body, I'm going to connect my arms like this, or you can even just do this, but if it feels okay, you can go all the way to palm. And while your calf is stretching, you can stretch out the back of your shoulder blades a little bit. And you can play with the motion of however it feels best. And I'm just kind of letting my back arch naturally here. But if that feels like too much, you can tuck your pelvis a little bit too. But if it feels okay, you can just let it naturally curve. All right, now shake out your arms and kind of move your feet. And then we're gonna go to the other side. So now getting a calf stretch through the back of your opposite leg. And so whatever arm you had on bottom, let's switch it now to this side and get a good stretch through your shoulder blades again. And keep breathing. If that's too much for any of you with balance, you can always like hold onto a wall and not worry about the arm part, or do those separately if you want to pause the video and do that. Okay, and then let's get our legs into a V. I'm going to keep my toes facing forward as long as that feels okay on your ankles. And I'm going to lean to the side to get a good stretch on my inner thigh. And then I'm also going to reach to get a side body stretch here. And then if it feels okay, you can get your neck into it a little bit too and let your ear drop down towards your shoulder. If you need to let your arm relax to try to make sure you're not hiking that shoulder up, you can do that as well. Try not to let your arm go forward. Try to keep it lined up with your leg as you're able to. If that's too much, you can always do this. You can even switch to this. You can kind of play around with it gently to see what feels like the best stretch, depending on what you need today. And then let's go back up, kind of let it relax again, everything kind of shake it out. And we're gonna go to the other side. So getting an inner thigh stretch here, and then reaching up and over with the opposite arm. And again, if it feels okay, you can let your head go towards the ground on that side or towards your opposite shoulder. Okay, and let everything shake out again there. Let's reach up towards the ceiling and then kind of rain our hands down towards the ground and let gravity pull our arms for us. You can let your head drop if it feels good. And even gently bend the back of your knees if it feels good to get a little lower. And then just take your time and come down to the ground. And we're gonna move into a cat-cow stretch, or as I like to think of them, as a rainbow with your back, and then smile with your spine. You can take turns if it feels good to push through your toes this way, or you can allow the tops of your feet to be stretched that way. So I'm gonna start like this with stretching the top of my feet and go up into a rainbow, remembering God's promise. He's got us. Breathe out and into a smile, because that should make us feel good. Feel the weight of your body kind of shift through your hands and your feet. And then go back up to the rainbow. And take a couple good breaths. And go back down to the smile. And now I'm gonna switch my feet and just do one more, pushing through my toes, back into the rainbow. Down to the smile. And now I'm going to bring my belly button towards my spine and try to get a flat back position. And I'm going to lift my arm up and again try to keep that same position. And then try to lift your other arm up, keeping the same position. So if you feel like that's enough for you, you can continue to practice that. If you want to try it with legs, You can switch to that and try not to let your back arch. Try to keep it nice and flat. And you're not going to go too fast with this because you're working on stability here. And if you want to take it a step farther than that, you can do opposite arm, opposite leg. But that's definitely, pay attention to make sure that you're not arching, because that is definitely harder not to arch with. And keep breathing. Now, this is another time that it's good to check in with your neck and shoulders. If you're feeling a lot of tension there, try to gently bring your shoulder blades down and back and do one of those chin tucks to get more length into your spine. And if all of that is hard to do at once, then you might just not do such a big motion. You could also keep your knees bent and just do a little bit of that if that's better. So you can try out different options and see what works for you. Okay, let's switch now to our side. I'm going to keep my bottom leg bent. My top leg is going to be straight, and I don't want to be rotating forward or back. I'm going to try to be in a line. Slightly forward is okay, but you definitely don't want to be back for this one. Okay, you can either be up here if you want to get a little bit more work there. If that's a little bit too much on your neck, you can just relax like this. Gentle belly button to your spine, and then lift your leg up towards the ceiling, and you should be feeling it in your glute muscles, working your hip muscles and the side of your bottom.
Thank you to say goodnight.
Sorry, I'm videotaping this, so. Let's just do a couple more of those and then we'll switch sides. If you're doing it right, you should feel that muscle working. So let's go ahead and switch sides. So you can either roll over, or I'm just gonna switch so that I can face you. Okay, and then the same thing over here. Keep your hips a little bit forward so that you don't roll back. Get your leg lined up and up and down. Good. Let's go ahead and turn onto our back. Let one leg go straight, and then your other leg, you're gonna bring knee towards your opposite shoulder. You can just try to relax your back. You don't need to hold your hip down or anything. So if you're getting some back rotation, as long as it feels okay, then that's fine. But you should get a good stretch in those muscles that we just worked. Take a nice breath. And then go ahead and switch sides. Hopefully that feels like a good stretch to you. Okay, we're almost done. Let's just go ahead and do a few bridges. So again, I'm gonna bring my belly button towards my spine to contract my core and lift up towards the ceiling. Try to relax your neck. You should have your natural curve in your neck. Try not to hike your shoulders. And you don't need to go way up here. You can just try to be in alignment. This is the last strengthening one, and then we're gonna just do a couple stretches. So good job. Finish out strong. If you haven't been doing these, I'm sure you feel your muscles working. Okay, so now let's go and do what some people would call like a prayer stretch or a child's pose stretch. I need to come up with a good Catholic name for that one. Reach your arms forward and let your head rest. You can spread your knees as far as you need to feel, comfortable. So just kind of toy with the position. Okay, and then we're gonna end by doing thread the needle. So let's reach up and then thread the needle through to get a good stretch in our spine. And you can also take advantage and kind of gently push through the top side of your head to get a little bit of a neck stretch here too. You can thread the needle back and forth, or you can hold it. I always think it feels like a good stretch here to hold. And then go ahead and come back to the middle. And we're going to do the opposite side. So reach the other arm up and thread the needle through. Nice deep breath. Come back up. Hopefully you feel like you got your blood flowing and some good stretching in. So thanks for working out with me, and God bless.